Hello everyone, I am Renown Zero. As if Ethan Van Sciver just couldn't be any more of a LOLCOW. He goes ahead and does the unthinkable. He goes and copes over Yellow Flash's book, hitting 100k, as well as revisiting his old lost love, that old urinal that he decided to lick after smoking, allegedly, some questionable things with a bunch of questionable individuals. But it's absolutely hilarious that he thinks he's going to be leaning into the joke, even though he's an absolute clown, and just want you guys to, of course, listen to what he told himself.
I'm nobody. I used to be somebody, but I'm nobody now.
Yes, he used to be somebody, but he's nobody now. So let's get into the video, starting, of course, with the pre-order collection for Norfolk Glorious Death #1, with 74 days to go, sitting at 148,107 in total sales, 3,253 in total books sold. Now we're moving on over to Saints and Sinners #1 at 372,939 total sales, 9,730 in total books sold, closing in ever so quickly on that 10,000 total books sold. Now keep in mind, just keep in mind the total sales numbers as well as the books sold. We're going to come back to that later. We also have Ripperzine #4 with 11 days to go. Again, this is a magazine. This isn't a full-fledged comic, but it does include a short story called Catch and Kill. At 52,853 in total sales, 2,734 total books sold. Yes, the Mighty Golden Patriot has indeed broken its sales goal of 100,000, and it is still less than a month left until it ends. And of course, even when the campaigns end, you can continue to purchase the book after the fact. So first things first, this guy decided that he was going to revisit the infamous urinal that he decided to lick after
doing crack.
If Geeky Borders here saying, oh no, he loved the taste so much, he had to come back for seconds. You just cannot stop getting in your own way, Ethan. You refuse to not make yourself look like more of a LOLCOW than you already are. You thought you were going to lean into the joke and go back to the infamous urinal and take a picture with it rather than licking it this time, because you're an absolute moron. But we have this really boring post that I'm going to read for you from Ethan Van Sciver himself. So we're just going to pull this right down so you can see it is indeed Ethan Van Sciver. He goes on to say, in response to Admiral Wackass, who said, remember when we had to hear for months about Yellow Flash not paying his artists? How many artists have netted 40% of 100k plus after it's all said and done off a campaign? To which Ethan says, yeah, sorry you had to hear for months about Yellow Flash not paying his artist. Yes, you are an absolute concern troll. You had to put it out there for months, even though Dillard called you out on it and told you to stop spreading lies because you're an absolute LOLCOW, you're an absolute clown, you're an absolute snake. Yellow Flash's artist had to hear for 3 years about not being paid for the work he done for Yellow Flash from his wife and family as they endured financial struggles, as you guys didn't indeed help him with all the concern trolling you were doing over his financial well-being, because you're an absolute clown. You and all the other CG kings decided you're not going to help Dillard, even as Yellow Flash multiple times tried to give him money and he refused it. Sorry to have bored you retards. Well, really the only retard is you, returning to the quote-unquote infamous urinal to take a picture with it because you're an idiot. The cope over this campaign, limping over the $100,000 line after all you were goading comic skaters about how we must be quote-unquote afraid of this next $1 million campaign, is hilarious, while you show absolutely no proof to the matter. Even though you guys are the same ones that said if you don't make 100k in the first day, it's a failure, with Shane Davis's Anatonic not hitting 100k in the first day, so that means it must be a failure. Remember, you're also the same guys who said that Flash needed you guys in order to hit that 100k goal, and it seems like he didn't need you whatsoever. Yellow Flash told me he happily paid me $4,000 to do a cover for him. I highly doubt it, which might have helped this crap show of a launch, but my request to be paid $1,000 per 10,000 copies sold of my cover was something he needed to consult Dillard about. Yes, because Dillard is 40% sole owner of the IP, and you would be breaking into his bank account basically to take money out of his pocket for his family that you're concerned trolling over his financial struggles. So of course, the guy who half owns, or owns 40%, I should say, of the IP, yeah, I would hope Yellow Flash would go talk to Dillard about that, you absolute moron. You didn't even think before you posted this garbage tweet. He ended up selling 3,700 copies total. Womp womp. This says 3,775 total books sold. How did Yellow Flash sell 3,700 books total, as you put it, when the campaign ends on July 26th of 2025, which, by the way, I don't know how he would sell 3,700 total when the book can still be purchased after the campaign ends. So you look even more of an absolute moron as you sit there and put out misinformation into the world because you're too stupid to realize that you're incorrect. You just want to put misinformation out there because you hate Yellow Flash that much, and you clearly hate Dillard that much, that you decide to put even more disinformation later on in this tweet. This is a hilarious disaster. Oh, it's a disaster even though it hit its funding goal, and people are actually going to receive their books, unlike Cyber Trash. They're not going to receive their Cyber Cuck books. All your books are trash, by the way. Even your biggest sycophants have said your book is garbage. After printing and Eric July takes his cut, Dillard is looking at a possible $25,000 paycheck. Wow, $25,000 is quite a bit of money just for simply owning the IP, which, by the way, he'll continue to get more money with each book sold after the campaign ends. And you're taking a guess on how much Eric is taking as a cut. After 3 years, I'd pay cover artists more than that. I highly doubt it. Again, no receipts. Didn't Eric call this a bold business strategy on Dillard's part? Yes, because it is a bold business strategy. Rather than taking a commission, rather than getting a page rate, Dillard decided to own 40% of the IP, which was, yes, a bold business strategy and a huge risk, which it ultimately paid off. But, you know, CG Master Race is over on From My Comic making $4,081 in 8 days. Apparently isn't a failure for cheap China toys. But remember what I said about Saints and Sinners being at $372,000? Let's go through Ethan's campaigns real quick to make you look more of an absolute fool. Remember, you are getting outsold by Jay David, by Ads from Heel vs. Babyface, the guy you hate so much, the guy you lied about being a sexual pest because you heard a rumor from Camelot 331, Mauler, the Saska sisters, Eric July himself, and Critical Drinker. More people that you call birthday clowns or zeros, even though Critical Drinker has almost 2 million subscribers. Well, let's take a look at your campaign. Just keep the number in mind, 372,000. So you've made $104,247 US dollars on Wrath of Elephant. Saints and Sinners is at 3 times that amount. Minus taxes, shipping, and fees, by the way. This includes your taxes, shipping, and fees on top of all of this. Let's look at your fearsome. Oh, it's also almost double the amount. Again, taxes, shipping, and fees included with the number. Oh, you want Cyberfrog Dark Harvest? Oh, it outsold that too. It did more sales than Cyberfrog Dark Harvest as you continue to do a second chance campaign for this. And it had more books sold. Congratulations. Oh, it outsold Rainbow the Brute in books sold and sales during its initial launch in 2021. You've had this campaign open since 2021. So we're not going to talk about this at all. We're going to just talk about initial sales numbers. So again, Saints and Sinners, again, you're being outdone by rookies, by the way. And let's not forget, if backers mean books sold, that means Saints and Sinners sold more books than Cybercuck 3. So what are we talking about here? You're trying to come at other people as rookies are outdoing you in sales and books sold? Oh, wait. Let's not forget, you just added another fluff thing here with your secret line art variant for Dark Harvest. So you can fluff that number some more because you got 48 sold out of 100 already. So yeah, just keep fluffing the numbers with things that have nothing to do with Cyberfrog 3. Even though this is a book that sucks too. So, what are we doing, bro? All this bullshit about everybody else being failures, yet you're sitting here fluffing this Cyberfrog number, trying to hit that 1 million mark just to prove to people that you could get another $1 million campaign after the quartering said you'd never make another $1 million campaign. Hashtag the quartering was right. Because you got to sit there and fluff that number, bro, just to try to get another million that you'll never reach. I think it's absolutely hilarious how you're sitting there talking about other people being failures. Even Norfolka has sold more than Wrath of Killafant and Fearsome. And it's still got 74 days to go. So what are we doing, bruh? What are we doing? You're getting wrecked by rookies. You clown. Well, you know, rookie writers, which are better writers than you because all of Cyberfrog sucks. Artists, better than you. So, what are we doing, bruh? Just shut up. At this point, just shut up, bruh. Because you continue to make yourself look like an absolute fool every single time. As you continue to have faltering sales, sucky-ass books, and customers that are waiting 5+ years for books that'll probably never come out. Thank you all for checking out this video. Really do appreciate all the new subscribers, return subscribers, new viewers, and return viewers. If you do like this video, smash the like button, comment below how you feel about this, subscribe for more content, hit the bell for notifications, set the bell to all. That way you'll get a notification anytime I post a new video or go live on the channel, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.